Hello, welcome back to our Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous Azata campaign. Hold on. Why is Ember in front? I only just realised the formation got a bit messed up when I put Ember in the party. No, we want... definitely want the back line to be... Darren can go right at the back for now. Lang can go there and Ember can go there. And we can have Wooljiff and... Nest on the flanks with Sealer up front. Anyway, we just arrived at the Tower of Estrod, which we have reports of as being a cultist base.
Quiet steps. Weapons ready.
Canabras burns, the city that should never have fallen. Fate shows no mercy. What's this ghostly angel doing here? Clouds may veil the stars, but nothing can hide the light in someone's soul, and I see this light in you. We will stand shoulder to shoulder with you against evil. Are these memories, or are they talking directly to me? I hear the echo of a familiar voice. I feel the warmth of my kindred flame. My sisters, we will help you. They might be talking to me directly. Oh yeah, they were. Angelic aspect. You take on the aspect of an angelic being, including some of its physical characteristics. You gain resistance to acid and cold 10. And damage resistance against evil. You also gain +2 deflection bonus to AC and +2 resistance bonus on saves against attacks made by evil creatures. In addition, your natural weapons and any weapons you wield are considered good aligned for the purpose of overcoming damage reduction. That is incredible. And it's not to be sneezed at. Locked from the inside.
They'll never see me coming.
Sneak our way up here. Faxon, the red-skinned, long-haired tiefling raises his pain-filled eyes to you. A huge magical brand stands out on his chest, freshly burned onto his skin. The flesh around the brand is inflamed and has an unhealthy-looking hue. Hey, stop! Who are you, Crusaders? Well, well, well. I was looking to add a couple more Crusader heads to my collection and all. Why just assume we're Crusaders, though? Where'd you get that idea, huh? I mean, do we look like Crusaders? See, oh, right. The tiefling notices the sacred symbol of Iomedae gleaming on the paladin's chest and sighs. I suppose that explains it. I wonder if you don't have Sealer with you, they might not assume that you're... Crusaders. There's nothing for me to do here, I'm leaving. Let's try intimidating them. Disgusting filth, get out of here before I kill you all. Oh, well. Even the demons ran. Succeeded at an imitation check. It seems that Killis took all the most intimidating and bloodthirsty warriors with him. Only the cowardly rabble have remained behind with Faxon. Half of them quickly turn to flee the tower, with Faxon's rebuking profanities following them as they go. So I can kill you right now, or I can give you a few more minutes of life if you answer my questions. Faxon, the tiefling shoots you a vicious grin. You won't be getting out of here alive either way, so why not? Let's have a chat. Who are you? You don't look like a museum worker. I am Faxon, servant of Baphomet, the ranking member of the Templars of the Ivory Labyrinth in this city, and a new master of this tower. You'd better watch your mouth, or else my curses will rip your soul to flaming shreds. Faxon, the tiefling? The ASMR Darren raises his eyebrows. Why, I remember you. You're that little clerk from the town hall. The one who kept badgering me for a bribe to get rid of some bill or another. Well, you turning out to be the leader of a cultist group is definitive proof of something we all know to be true. All bureaucrats are spawn of the abyss. You arrogant celestial spawn. Do you see now? We're everywhere. You looked down your nose at Faxon the clerk. Now you'll bow before Faxon the overlord. I'll repeat what I said to you in the town hall that day. I don't deal with parasites. Good on you, Darren. What are you doing in the museum? For the last 3 months, this tower has served as a cover for me and my servants. I set up my base in the cellar of the local museum and smuggled an entire regiment of my Templars into the city. It's the ideal place for a secure hideout. The museum was left in the charge of a doddering old man who can hardly remember his own name. When our lord struck Canabras, we plunged a blade into the Crusader's back, and a glorious fight it was. Now Lord Zalathar has ordered us to strip Canabras of everything that might be of interest to him and remove it from the city. He is a great master of the occult and magical arts, and this museum is chock full of all kinds of relics that could prove very interesting to study. You look awful. What's wrong with your tattoo? The tiefling gives you a hateful glare. Lady Minago was displeased with me. She branded me with this rune to make me suffer. Minago wanted me to subjugate the demons of our ally Descari, to wrest control away from that idiot Keyless, but I failed. But it seems my luck is turning. You don't look like rank-and-file crusaders. When I bring Minago your head, so will be forgiven and she'll remove this brand. You probably should have run when you first saw me. Faxon's eyes narrow in fury and he releases a feral shriek that sets his gang slathering for your blood. The demons and Templars give answering howls to their leader and surge forward to attack.
You've crossed the wrong mongrel.
Well, Lan just instantly killed one of you. Let's use protection from evil. Give us a little bit more defense, and then Wardge, if you can move up. Darren's staggered, so we can't do much, but we'll activate Bless. We really need to get in the habit of doing this before the fight starts, but I don't mind doing this. I think playing on normal you can get away with it a lot more. Just activate shield on Nest.
Into the fray.
Ember, you can use Evil Eye on the Abracalu. However you... Abracandilu. It's a mouthful. He hits Wardjif with an acid arrow. It's not great. Take an extra shot, Lan, and hit the one whose AC has been weakened. Lovely. Perfect shots. Yeah, Wardjif, finish it off, please. Great. Darren, give Shield of Faith to Nest. And then Nest, you do a touch of... activate your arcane weapon enchantment as well. And do a touch attack.
You feel that?
The inheritor.
Sealer, just do a standard hit. I'm just gonna keep spamming Evil Eye with Ember. See if you can finish these guys off, Lan.
Endure this.
Oh, wonderful. Oh, wonderful, Lan. Oh, it's just this guy. Faxon. Yeah, Darren, just take a shot at him. So when you come here before, if you come here before doing the Defender's Heart quest, you get a different event, and you also get to you meet someone a little earlier than you normally would. Although he did show up during the Defender's Heart quest as well. He just pops in, murders someone, and leaves. It's Greyball, who's a companion later on. Let's do a rare frost attack nest. Ember, you can see if you can evil eye him. You might not be able to reach. No, okay. Just go there then. Oh, that's a little rough.
Make every strike count.
That did no damage. Yeah, Woodruff, just running and giving him a stab. Take another shot, Darren. 1 damage, better than nothing. Let's use Arcane Accuracy and try and guarantee the shot hits, and then do a touch of fatigue attack. Oh. Didn't work. Yeah, use Challenge Evil on him, Sealer.
No glory without risk.
It works. Now use Evil Eye on him, Ember. He misses. Use another extra attack and use Perfect Strike.
You've crossed the wrong mongrel.
Yeah, I think this is over. Purge the demons of the Tower in the Tower of Estrod. Done. Here's a good looking mace. Yeah, you can, I think, if you come in and they don't notice you, you can kind of sneak around and kill some of them early with using those.
My tail is twitching. Must be a sign. This is my kind of work.
Yeah, push. There's loads of ways to kind of ambush them if you get here and they don't notice you. I think that you can only really make use of them if you come here early, though. Which maybe we should have tried harder to do, but
Always watch your back.
it's fine doing it this way. To the basement. Telma, a pale and frightened half-elf, looks at you warily. His face is twisted into a grimace like he just ate something slimy. Hey, who are you? Praise Baphomet. What are you doing here? Did Faxon send you? I heard a noise outside, but I was busy making a list of the relics. Did something happen? Who are you? I am Temla, the scribe and senior aide to Lord Xanathar, the Plagued One. And do forgive me, but Faxon has been assigned to this command, has he not? Where is he? What are you doing here? I'm compiling a list of the valuable Crusader artifacts. Lord Xanathar has ordered that everything of use should be transported from Canabras and saved from the looting and destruction. We chose the museum as the place to collect and sort through the trophies. Unfortunately, the local thieves have proved even quicker off the mark than the demons. They ransacked the museum in the first few hours of the assault. But there are some objects of interest among the exhibits they left. The museum custodian has been kind enough to advise me on those. But where's Faxon? Woljif sniggers. Ha! Fired as thieves in Mendev. Turn your back and everything that isn't nailed to the floor will be gone when you turn round again. The demons had no chance against him. Masters of our trade we are. Sealer. There you go bragging again, dummy. Thieving has never led to anything but harm, trust me. If you fought the way you thieve, now that might be useful. No thanks. Every person has their calling, and this is mine. But imagine if you fought as well as we thieve. Where is the museum custodian? Over in the gallery. I deceived him. I told him I was a crusader. It wasn't difficult. The old geezer is out of his mind. So tell me, where is Faxon? Get your hands off the crusader relics. The half-elf leaps back nimbly, pulling a sheaf of papers from his bag before he goes. No, I have valuable letters from Lord Xanathar here. I must destroy them. The cultist balls the pages up in his fist and shoves them into his mouth, then begins furiously chewing like a hamster. A moment later, the half-elf's eyes bulge and he opens his mouth, which is stuffed with masticated paper. He tries to cough, but nothing comes out. The failed saboteur looks at you in desperation. His eyes are streaming, his face is growing paler by the second, and he falls to his knees. A strangled wheeze emerges from behind the wad of wet paper. His expressions veer from the hilarious to the grotesque as he signals to you for help. Lan. Want some salt and pepper with that? Now, I've never tried eating paper myself, but a little seasoning goes a long way, whatever the meal. Darren. Confiture. The perfect accompaniment for paper is apricot confiture. How do I know this? An excellent question. As a child, I once ate a piece of my exercise book in front of my horrid music teacher, to spite her. Good, help the poor wretch. Yeah, we don't want to see someone choked to death. Digging your fingers deep into the hapless half-elf's throat, you retrieve the disgusting ball of soggy paper. The cultist coughs violently and then, after taking a trembling breath, leaps up and takes off running. He disappears, leaving you with the wad of correspondences that is much worse for wear. Can I read it? Masticated letter. Yeah, let's read it. A wad of crumpled pieces of paper with visible bite marks and traces of saliva. The writing is blurred and indistinct. Most of the words are completely illegible, but some fragments are still intact. Carefully pack up all the relics and valuable magical items and hand them over to the same courier that brought you my potions. Later, I may carve out some time away from my scientific research to sift through the detritus you managed to steal from the Crusaders. I might as well not bother, since your finds will almost certainly be of no use to me, unless I find myself in dire need of a paperweight. Still, this mission keeps you occupied and gives me an invaluable opportunity to work without you stinking your nose into my experiments. I once again remind you that it is absolutely essential to store the potions in a safe place, sealed with the corresponding protective rune. Should these safety measures not be taken, the demons would drink all your stash dry in no time at all, and your master will order me to spend 3 more days at the cauldron making a new batch. Believe it or not, I have many other important matters to attend to. Should I discover that the potions have mysteriously disappeared, I will not try to look for the culprit. I will punish the person who let it happen, the person who failed to secure them properly. The punishment will be painful, brutal, and utterly inhumane. Remember this. Good luck with conquering whatever you are conquering out there. Xanathar Vang. Okay. Oh, I guess these are the potions. Potion of Blur, Potion of Mage Armor, Potion of Enlarged Person. This helmet belonged to Bathai Sakria. Paralictra. Oh, whatever. It's not there anymore, it's been nicked. Where has that polite young fellow got to? He was going to get a box of the exhibits and then come back here. Tell Don. The old man, looking around absent-mindedly, shrinks away as you get closer. His head seems to shake uncontrollably, but his hands are surprisingly deft and assured that as they level a magic wand at you. Stay back. Which are you, robber or demon? Warjiff. Hey, take it easy, Gramps. So that's the way it is, eh? You see horns and you think thief or demon? Sealer. Quit scaring the old man, dummy. Have you seen your horns? They... How should I put this? Don't exactly inspire trust in a city that's currently overrun with demons. Lan. Hey, there are horns and then there are horns. I'm not going to hurt you. The old man Teldon goggles at you in terror, but he doesn't lower his wand. A rustling comes from somewhere behind him. Rats. The old man wheels around and fearfully and peers in the direction that the sound came from. The hand holding the wand gradually falls to his side. When he turns back to you, there is no fear in his expression, only vague confusion. I'm sorry, I was distracted. What were we talking about? Who are you? The old man lowers his wand in confusion. I think... His expression grows distraught and mournful, as though he's on the verge of crying. I forget. His gaze falls on a piece of cloth carefully stitched to his cloak, which reads, Teldon, Tower of Estrod Museum Custodian. Aha! I am Teldon, the custodian here. My memory isn't what it once was. My faculties are failing me. But at one time my mind could cut like a diamond. I was a battle mage, one of the few who survived the Battle of the Lost Chapel. But I'm an old man now. Sometimes I set down my keys one moment, and the next I can't remember where I've put them. With a pleased smile, the old man pulls a hefty set of keys from his pocket and proudly shows them to you. Here they are, my keys, my little lovelies. I would never give you away to anyone. Remembering himself, the old man hastily stows the keys back in his pocket. Darren. The Lost Chapel? Ah, this old fellow was there. That his mind was damaged isn't surprising. What's surprising is that the old codger can still speak at all. In the entire history of the Crusades, which aren't exactly uplifting, this is one of its bloodiest chapters. Some time ago I wanted to know what became of the abandoned fortifications and estates the Crusade left behind. I read through the accounts of the Lost Chapel veterans. Now that was a real bloodbath. What are the keys for? Oh, these keys are for everything. I can open every door in the Tower of Estrod with these. The museum custodian on duty must carry these keys at all times and never be parted from them. Not even for a second. And why is that? Because if the keys are left unattended, they would be pinched by thieves, wouldn't they? Thieves who'd strip the museum of all its treasures. Warjiff. What are you all looking at me for? Warjiff exclaims indignantly, even though no one is looking at him. Give me the keys. Out of the question. According to museum protocol, the custodian does not have the right to hand over the keys to another. I am personally responsible for the safety of the exhibits and the storeroom. I'm not going to threaten a guy. Chaotic and Trickery 16. Steal the keys. Should we do that? Yeah, let's do that. Hey, what's that behind you? Tendon looks around fearfully, and as he does, your fingers slip silently into his pocket. Then the old custodian turns back to you. The large bunch of keys is already tucked safely in your belt. Teldon shakes his head in confusion. Why did the demons spare you? The museum custodian looks at you in stark surprise. Demons? There have been no demons in this museum. I heard them breaking into the tower, but then everything went quiet. Then a very polite young fellow came along, a half-elf. He said Canabras was under attack, but that the Crusaders had already recaptured the tower. He said he'd been sent to oversee the evacuation of the museum. He was very pleased to find me here. I've proved a very useful resource. I showed him all the most valuable relics, explained what they were, and he wrapped them up, labelled them, and carried them off somewhere. And I've been here all this time. I locked the doors and stood guard to make sure no demon got in. But I've seen not one of them. Haven't heard any either. I've grown hard of hearing over the years. That half-elf was a demon worshipper. The old man frowns in confusion. What do you mean, demon worshipper? That fine young lad, so well-dressed, so polite. But he said the Crusaders... Oh my word, the relics, we must go after them. The old man works himself into a state, bitterly lamenting as he roots through his many pockets. But the outburst doesn't last long. The motion of his hand slows and the awareness fades from his eyes. He stares off into the distance, then looks at you, wets his lips and sheepishly inquires, Sorry, did you say something? What happened here? The old man burst into agitated muttering, gesticulating furiously with his shaking hands. First the bell started ringing, then there were noises in the streets, then the dragon, Lady Terendelev, began to roar. I went to lock the door, but they were already inside, the thieves. There were 7 of them, or perhaps 10, I don't remember. They were talking some rubbish about how they were all orphans, supposedly, and that they were dangerous. They grabbed me and wouldn't let go, and then looted the place. They took anything with even a lick of gold on it. Relics, too. The museum boasts a very extensive collection, you know. And, worst of all, they took the wand, and when they were done, they tossed me aside like a piece of old junk. They didn't even bother to kill me. The museum custodian looks at you with affront and anguish in his eyes. What wand did the thieves steal? The wand of Zacharias, my master. He was a great man, the hero of the defense of the lost chapel. And those scoundrels took his wand, a relic. Ballads are sung about Zacharias, and they're just damned thieves. Master Zacharias will return, and he will assemble all of us, his students, and we'll show them. I'll show them what a battle mage Teldon is made of. Fury sparks in the old man's eyes. His spine straightens, and in a fluid motion, his hands raise his wand at the ready. But a howl of rage from outside frightens off the ghost of the past. The old man turns around and looks at you in befuddlement. You were just asking me about something. I forget what it was. Where can I find these robbers? The old man throws up his hands. I haven't the foggiest. They're thieves. They know out of the way places where they won't be found. That's where they are, if they're still alive. But they won't be in the city. I heard them talking amongst themselves about how they needed to get out of Canabras before the demons wiped them out. Are you alright? The poor old man smiles piteously and makes a helpless gesture. Old age, my young friend, old age and the poison of fear seeping into my mind. Both have turned me from a crusader and battle mage into a sorry specimen you see before you. This museum is all I have. Whenever I forget who and where I am, I just read the exhibit labels. They are of the past, just like me. And now some ruffians have ransacked this place. I'm frightened, my young friend. I'm very frightened. Ember. Don't be afraid, the girl whispers. There's nothing to be afraid of. All the scary things have already happened. They're in the past. The old man nods but continues his agitated motions. Scary, so scary. Tell me about the museum exhibits. The old man seems to come to life. It would take a lifetime to tell you all there is to know, but I'll take you on tour of the highlights, some of my personal favourites. You should have a look for yourself, you won't regret it. For instance, we have a painting here depicting angels fighting demons. Now you may find it hard to believe, but in the First Crusades, many heavenly beings fought shoulder to shoulder with the Crusaders. And these two in the painting are Tarragon and Lariel, the Silver Twins as they were called. Lariel's who we got the angel power from. I actually met them, you know, when I was a young man studying under Master Zacharias. They had no airs or graces about them. They walked among mortals, they spoke to us, they healed our wounds. Lady Targona I remember especially well. She had a special unearthly wisdom within her. The angel Lariel, on the other hand, he was known for his daring, and the youngest crusaders idolized him. I wonder where they are now, the twins. We don't have celestial beings in our ranks anymore. They all left sometime during the Second Crusade, on a very important mission, they say. But I do love looking at this painting and remembering those days when envoys of the heavens walked among us, and the light that seemed to shine from within them. The old man wipes his eyes. What was I saying? You must be a messenger, yes? Or are you a visitor? Sela, why did those times end? Why do Celestials not fight with us still? Heaven has not abandoned us, surely. Ember. Heaven is above us, far, far away. Everyone there is good, I heard, but they can't see us from all the way up there. Law religion check passed. You said the angels Targona and Lariel are twins, but how can angels have siblings? That's a good question. Of course, angels are not born like mortals, so they can't have a mother and father or sisters and brothers as we understand them. Angels came into being from reincarnated souls, or from the pure essence of the upper planes. Sometimes angels may adopt some features of mortals. For instance, they can identify as male or female, although that is not generally their way. Some of them can also develop bonds of camaraderie or even kinship. But the case of the Silver Twins is rarer still. They are two angels who emerged from one soul. What else should they call themselves if not twins? The old man smiles, seemingly satisfied with the speech, but within moments his vacant expression is back in place, all awareness gone from his eyes. Go to the Defender's Heart. There are good people there. They'll look after you. The old custodian gives you a toothless smile. Really? It's safe there? But how can I leave the museum? His gaze falls upon the traces of the ransacking, and the old man becomes lost in thought, as though trying to find an explanation for what he is seeing. You know what happened here, don't you? Thieves, they were, prowling about, wanting to rob the museum, but I stopped them. Those ne'er-do-wells came in here and I gave them what for, a dose of battle magic. They won't be back. Don't you worry me. I may be old, but I can still hold my own. I have to go. The old man's bewildered gaze follows you as you go. Almanac in the Museum of the Tower of Estrod. Let's just pick this place clean and then we can head off. We've got the keys, so that's sure to unlock something. Yeah, there's just a bunch of the same book. That's not great for a museum. How many almanacs do you need? Yeah,
Might be trap, might be treasure. My tail is twitching. Must be a sign.
It might be a trap.
Oh wow, this place is trapped to the
Ask
nines.
nicely. Pretty good, aren't I?
Yep, Walljiff's on
This is my kind of
disarm
work.
duty.
This is my kind of work.
There's a cookery. The build I've seen for Grey Boar has him dual wielding cookeries, and I'm not planning to use Grey Boar in this playthrough, but it's still good to load them out. Pick the lock.
Pretty good, aren't I?
Magic essence. An essence obtained through painstaking distillation of rare magical ingredients, an expensive and valuable substance sought after by craftsmen and wizards who create magical items. Book on Yanni, are they?
My way.
Paladin of Iomedo, the Lightbringer and Knight of Citadel Dresden, heroine of the Crusades, Yanniel disobeyed her orders by leaving the garrison to venture deep into the Wildwood alone. 2 years later, she returned at the head of a Crusader squad she'd saved, died during the fall of Dresden in 4638.
Careful now.
That's whose sword Seela has. Lots of good junk in here. And a chain cert.
Hesitation is a waste of time.
Sarkoran faith. Imperial Lord Perluru, Mistress of the Stars and the mysterious light of Aurora, is one of the most revived deities of old Sarkoris. Her worship was widespread among these Khalids, who built numerous shrines in honour of their patroness. The foremost of these shrines, considered particularly cherished and sacred, was located on a lake shore surrounded by picturesque waterfalls called Perlura's Fall. Don't know especially how relevant that is, but we'll see. Angels. I'm not going to roll it. I feel like there's not much point reading all the books.
That's easy.
Alright, let's get out of here. Cleared it out. All the relics have been nicked, but oh well. Bigger things going on at the moment. Pamphlet depicting a beautiful golem.
nicely.
Is that necessary? Vision of Targona. The translucent silhouette of a winged female warrior glows softly. You brought us back to waking. Greetings. Who are you? Not who, what. Memories. This place was created as a cradle of memory and fantasy. The things that belonged to the city's heroes were kept here. People used to come to this place to remember those heroes, and myself and others are living memories. You woke us, so here we are. Ember. Lots of things seem silent only until you care to listen to them. Like here. Someone's memory has awoken to reveal itself to us. Darren. Yes, little one. I have no doubt that the birds in the streets converse with you too, and the trees and the flowers and even certain lampposts. I'm sure this occurs regularly. For me, alas, such wonders only occur after a week-long bacchanalia, and the conversations don't go very far. I used to come here when the mood took me. The exhibits here are meagre, no doubt, and cannot compete with the museums in the capital, but all the same, I find this place to be a calming refuge away from the bustling city. So your memories of who? Of the heroes the city wished to immortalize. Go, touch a memory, see how they remembered us. After all, this place was created so that our names would never disappear into the mists of history. Lan. There used to be a place like this near Nithom. Lan sighs. Quiet, calm. I used to walk among the plinths and pedestals, wondering, the people who founded this place, what was driving them? Were they thinking about future generations, how to pass down their wisdom and show the right path? Or were they thinking of themselves, trying to keep their names and deeds alive? But then the ceiling collapsed and that place didn't exist anymore, so my question was moot. Seela, I wish I could say that we have not dishonored your memory, but Canabris lies in ruins and we... But you fearlessly battled the invaders with no thought for yourself. You have earned no censure. We are proud of you. Woljif. Right, in the olden days, mortal kind lost to the demons time after time after time, and now their descendants are continuing their losing streak. How could they not be proud of that? Why did you help me? A soft smile appears on the woman's face. I sensed something in you. As if you were close to me somehow, like we stood shoulder to shoulder once in the face of evil, and that we must do so again. I sensed the light that dwells within you. Very recently you were threatened by a powerful demon, and dark bloodlust tried to enslave your soul, but you opposed it and held fast. Continue to follow the path of light, and other righteous souls will aid and follow you. Farewell, Vision. Farewell. The power that gives us this semblance of life is running out, and soon we will once again be but memories, living only in words, pictures and songs.
Always watch your back.
So I think that was one of the angels that the custodian was talking about. Let's get out of here. Yeah, I believe that's everything over on this side. Let's head over to the Blackwing Library. That's the last place of real import that we have to go to. Random encounters. You've spotted the enemies. Evade. Hanged cultist. Collect some regents. And travel to the library. Oh, we'll get the lost. Let's get the lost bag. How do we see a lost bag from 3 streets away? Must be a pretty big bag. Do you want to enter this location? Enter. Let's quickly heal.
Smile. The world's not ending just yet.
Everything has a price.
Something wrong?
Let's Do a bit of pre-buffing.
We'll make things right.
Sounds like someone isn't having a good time over there. Sounds like someone's
Always
dying.
be ready for the worst.
Trust in yourself.
Give yourself mage armor as well.
Missed me already.
Darren, do a bless. Give Lan a bull strength and Sealer a bull strength. Give Nest a shield of faith. And Woljif a shield of faith. Okay, that's fine for now.
Might be trap, might be treasure.
Oh god. Caleb. A stocky knight with a head of messy black hair stands before you. His armor is spattered with blood. He greets you with a deep, booming voice. The hefty crusader smiles merrily, paying no heed to the blood-curdling shrieks coming from the pyre and the acrid smell of burning flesh. They burn well enough, don't they? Cursed traitors, Arilu's minions. These vermin infiltrated the crusader forces and aided the demons from inside the city. But I caught them. I'm Captain Caleb Sazumal, and these men are my subordinates. A strange feeling rises up within you. It is pure instinct. You don't know what you're about to do, but you're certain that it is right. Perception. Take a closer look at the ruthless crusader. Caleb is talking too loudly, all while casting sidelong looks at you. You have seen similar behavioural quirks before, in liars. Examine the crusader's armour and symbols on it. You notice that the emblems on the armour are of the two silent crusaders belonging to the Order of the Flaming Lance, but Caleb's armour bears the sigil of the Order of the Sunrise Sword. Strange then that he introduced himself as their captain. Something's not right here. Who are you punishing? Look around you. The city is in burning ruins. So many innocent lives lost, and all because of abominations like these. Cultists, heretics and spies, slipping into our ranks, carrying out the orders of their brutal masters and preparing a heinous death for us all. They want to give us over to the demons, just like Aurelu did with the Sarkoris. They deserve to feel the flames licking at their legs. Ember. You come up with some nasty words to use against people. You call them heretics, cultists and spies, so you don't have to call them people. Good people just like you. You'd feel bad for doing this to people, but not to heretics. Without those words, you wouldn't be able to burn them. What happened to the library? Demons showed up and carried everything off. I wasn't here to see it myself. I was fighting in the square, but these filthy traitors told me everything. My fists made them quite chatty. Sealer. So what? You tortured them? Do you think those methods are worthy of a crusader? Under ordinary circumstances, no. But look around. The city is burning. Now is not the time for squeamishness. Chaotic. So this is a trickster mythic path thing, but I think it kind of vibes with the Azata as well, so we're going to do it. Give in to the strange instinct. Put out those flames. I order you in the name of Baphomet. The words fly out of your mouth before you can even think them. Some gut instinct told you that this is precisely what needs to be said at this moment, and the words hit their target. The Crusaders jump in surprise and look at each other in terror. Darren. The corners of Darren's mouth are twitching, like he's struggling with all his might not to burst out laughing. Woljif glares menacingly at Caleb. Didn't you know, mortal? We're everywhere. Mom, we didn't know you were one of us. You heard her. Put out the flames. Cuffing his lackeys round the head, Caleb herds them straight toward the fire. All three of them start trying to fight the flames, showing no concern for their own safety. An inexplicable feeling of rightness flows through you. You enjoy seeing the look of oafish terror on the faces of the Crusaders and his lackeys when you rebuked them of their fecklessness. You blithering idiots! You cack-handed dimwits! You empty suits of armour! You watch in satisfaction as Caleb and his two lackeys rush to put out the alchemist's fire. Their armour becomes covered in soot and welts rise on their skin from the flames. Succumbing to another strange octorial impulse, you chewy them along with barking orders and florid invective. Quickly, you worms! If you keep dawdling, I'll throw you into the furnace at the Grey Garrison! Caleb grunts in wordless terror and desperately fights the flames. Every so often he sends murderous looks at his associates, whom he has clearly already condemned to death. Whoever doesn't pull his weight is a dead man. I'll take the other two into Baphomet's forces. With a wary look in your direction, Caleb abandons his own attempts to quell the flames and turns his focus into thumping and kicking his subordinates to hurry along. The method proves surprisingly effective, and the flames begin to dwindle. Report. Who are you? The Crusader's eyes bulge in fear as he barks out. Caleb Sazamol, former knight of the Orders of the Everbright Crusaders. Deserter. These two are my mates from playing cards. Local fences for stolen goods. Reliable men. We set an ambush and caught 4 Crusaders. We wish to join the ranks of the triumphant army of the World Wound. Lan. Good lads, brave fighters. We could do with more like you in the cultist ranks. Then our victory would be assured. Thank you, I do my best. Caleb watches Lan with rapt attention, his eyes lingering on Lan's horn. Caleb is a Crusader's name. Are you a Crusader? I hereby give you a name worthy of a demon. Foulsnout. Biting his lip, the bold cultist proudly thrusts out his chest. Thank you, madam. Foulsnout furrows his brow in a display of menace, trying to show you his brutal determination to take on all the Crusader forces put together. Listen to your gut. Stop wasting valuable fuel. If you like burning books, go rig the Grey Garrison Library. Our enemies may try to sneak in there. Step to it. Darren looks at you with amused curiosity and speaks in a soft voice. I do enjoy your sense of humour. It's quite fiery. Ha, it's going to be a lot more fun later on, you'll see. So, you want to turn the world upside down and make the Crusades into something else instead of deadly boring and painfully pretentious? Darren gives you an incredulous smile. You are insane, and I like that. You can count on my help, at least for the next day or two, before I get bored with this folly. Foulsnout. There's plenty more where that came from, Mom. I'll do everything you've ordered, and just as soon as those Crusaders arrive, there'll be dead meat. I'll go make sure we get make it another 2 barrels of alchemist fire from the Grey Garrison storeroom. Things are going to burn right up in there. Storyteller. A blind elf stands before you. He looks extremely strange. His face wears its years heavily, which is unusual for a member of his race. Thinning grey hair, a ragged beard, sightless milky eyes, pale papery skin covered in age spots, a spine curved by the passages of time. This is not how elves typically age. The youth that graces the faces of elves even on their deathbed has totally abandoned this decrepit specimen. The old elf holds out his hand in your direction in a perennial gesture of the blind, greeting you with an unexpectedly strong and calm voice. Hello. I am Storyteller. I wish to thank my rescuers. That is you, if I am not mistaken. Woolgif. Storyteller? Ha! This is the first I've ever heard of a venerable old-timer like that having a street name. Ember. Sometimes a person can lose their name. But Mama and Papa are gone, friends are gone, and there's nobody to ask what it is. So instead of their name, a person can pick any word that is good. Everybody has to have a name. Or do they? I don't know. Who are you? The old elf frowns. I prefer people to call me Storyteller. It is very accurately describes the sphere of my occupations and interests. In most places I've been, I am known by that name. Darren. You've piqued my curiosity. A storyteller? Are you a bard? If so, you should come perform at one of my parties, instead of knocking about in this dusty library. A bard? In some sense, yes, but not the type of bard that performs at festivities. I think your guests would lose their appetite after hearing my tales. What a shame. And I was hoping to will you out for my guests. With your unusual appearance, you would have caused quite the scandal. But luxurious bards are of no use to me. Half the bards in the city are the same. Their repertoire is confined to the one about longing, the one that causes indigestion, and the one that's a complete waste of time. I mean, really, how is one supposed to host a party with that? When I was little, my mother and father used to tell me stories, but I have no one to tell me stories now. Sometimes Grandma does in my dreams, but I always forget them in the morning. Can you tell me a story? The corners of the blind elf's mouth slowly creep upward. For you, I may have a story to tell, but perhaps it is you who has a story for me. How come you didn't burn in the fire? To tell the truth, I myself do not know. I felt the heat. It was so strong. I waited for the pain and the burning, but I was unscathed. But the smoke nearly finished me off. It may be some form of magical protection against fire, but I don't know by what means I may have acquired it. Just another oddity for my collection of the inexplicable. Gloom steals across the storyteller's pensive face. I want to talk to you about something. The old elf responds with dignity and curiosity, but firmly. In thanks for my rescue, I of course will render you a service in turn, whatever it may be. However, at this moment I wish to be somewhere safer than the present surroundings. My recent adventures have fatigued me greatly. I would be grateful if you could help me to a safe shelter of some kind. The stubborn set of the elf's mouth tells you that he won't change his mind. Woolgif. Typical. You do someone a good turn, and instead of saying thank you, they just ask for more help. Zelo. Go easy on the old elf. He's had a rough go of it. Yeah, because we've had it so easy. Finian. We can't not help him. If it was up to me, Grandfather Elf, I'd throw you over my shoulder and carry you out of here. This is no place for old folks. I have other things to do here. I'll help you later. In that case, I will remain here for now. Wandering the city while it's under attack by demons would be inadvisable for a blind person. Don't forget to take me with you when you're going to a safe place. Yeah, I think it auto transports you back to the Defender's Heart if you say that to him. And there's stuff to do in the library first. The bookcase is full of text describing demons and methods of fighting them. If a book's like that,
I will not be trifled with.
it
What's
might be
that
worth reading.
glitter?
You learned something new from this book. Let's have a quick look what that was. This book grants you a +1 competence bonus on saving throws against swarms. Not bad. Knowledge Arcana.
Damn this silly thing.
The enormous black rift cuts the library in half. It goes so deep that one can only wonder who could have possibly wreaked such destruction and how. I mean, Discari's a good guess, right? Even if you didn't pass the check. Yeah, another book we've learned something on. Temples of Almaday. So I think maybe it's only
If
books that are
there's
specific.
gold,
Oh,
it's mine.
a secret door, eh? Knowledge World 25.
Next time.
This is a statue of a lead man dressed in wizard robes. You do not recognize the face. That sounds like a failure to me. Sure, that's some okay loot. Now over here, something very important. Terendelev, Guardian of Canabras. Oh, another book we've learned something from. Nice. hope that beast doesn't bring what's left of the building down on our heads. In the name of Iomedae, what was that? Yeah, it's fairly strange to see a statue come to life. Oh, another book that's going to teach us something? Yes. Gwyn and Pollen. Now, the stuff you learn from books, it's not, you know, incredible, but... Let's check what it is. So from the... I mean, this book grants you a +1 shield bonus to AC against demons. That's good, because we fight a lot of demons. This book grants you a +1 morale bonus to AC against dragons. This book grants you a +1 competence bonus on attacks and damage on all natural attacks. I'd say 2 out of 3 of them ain't bad. Yeah, I don't think we're even able to leave without him. Alright, I think that's everything. The old elf frowns as if he's listening closely to something and then decisively turns his face to you. Nest, is it not? I recognize you from the sound of your footsteps. There was a griffin statue here. It suddenly came to life and flew away. Do you know anything about it? That griffin stood in this library for decades, but only today did he take flight. Why? I do not know, but I'm glad his ancient slumber came to an end. The elf smiles at his thoughts. He has a long story behind him, and yet the real tale is only just beginning today. No, I will not reveal his secrets. I think your paths will cross again, so you can ask him yourself. I'm taking you to the Defender's Hut. Please accept my sincere thanks once again, and if I may, please don't rush. I will struggle to keep up with your long legs. Do you want to go to the Defender's Hut now? Accept. Alright, seeing as we're back here, I'm gonna leave it there for now, but we'll talk to the Storyteller and figure out what he's about tomorrow. Cool, if you want to follow this series, give us a subscribe, or a like and a comment as well if you're feeling generous. Yeah, see ya, bye.